Hi, my name is Romeo Hinojosa, and I'm here today to talk about the 600 series counters. Obviously, we have different models, and different models do count different thicknesses. This one that I have right here is a model 640, and I will show you how it works and some of the stuff on the display that has to be used at times. When you first turn on the machine, it will initialize, which will make one complete pass all the way to the end and come home. Once you have this material that you're ready to count with, of course the machine will stay ready for you, and you get your material, and the best thing to do is to hand count 50 cards. And you will have to probably measure the card on the dial indicator. This particular card is about 30 thousandths thick, which will show you in millimeters, which comes out to 0.76. Once you do that, you will have to adjust the sensor, which is located right beside the card basket, and adjust that to 0.76 because the dial legend will be in millimeters. The next thing you can do is put your cards down, and do not forget to snuggle the blade against the cards so they're all even. And these cards are non-embossed, and at this point you are ready to start counting. You hit the count button, it'll say adjust the pitch dial, which you already have. The next time you do this, it will count your 50, and you have set the dial right, and everything is ready for you to count millions of cards at this particular thickness. One of the things I'd like to show you is take these cards. When you have a tray of 500, move the guide slide back, tilt the basket. These cards and this guide slide have to go right at the very end, squeezed over, down. Since the dial is already set, at this point all you really have to do is hit the count button. You can count these cards without the box or with the box, as long as the box is lower, about at least 1/4 of an inch lower than the material, and then the sensor will not see the edges of the boxes. At this point, I'd like to say that when this machine starts counting the first pass, it is counting with 2 channels, and 2 channels on the way back. It'll be a total of about 3.5 seconds to count and 3.5 seconds to verify it. So it's a total of 7 seconds. I also want to mention the fact that this counter, as you start going through the roller decks or the menu on here, you will have different options. There is a diagnostics test on here, which you can engage by hitting the plus button, and it'll say buttons indicator. If you hit the buttons indicator again, it'll say number of buttons, and this will allow you to at least find out if all your LEDs will work and all your switches are working. You can hit the minus and the plus. Once you hit the bottom arrow on the select display, it'll say test display. When you engage the plus underneath set display, it'll go through the alphanumeric system and the numbers, and it will keep on going. It won't stop until you get out, and the way to get out would be by hitting the bottom arrow. There also is a test drive in there. When you do hit the plus button on the set display, the sensor will travel from home to end, and it'll keep doing that. This particular number tells you the time it's taken for it to go back and forth. The top tells you how many times it's doing it. When you're done seeing how smooth the sensor rides back and forth, you just hit the bottom arrow and the sensor will stop. The test alarm feature, Features 3 different types of levels of sound. When you hit the plus under the set display menu here, it'll show soft, medium, loud, and soft. When you want to get out, hit the plus or hit the bottom arrow, and you're out of diagnostics and its sub-menus. Once again, you can continue on. Here's one way to get to special. The special is dealing with certain cards that are hard to count. You can go into the special mode by hitting the plus. It'll say reset to standard, and hit the bottom arrow. And the first thing you see under that submenu would be material light. You can hit material dark. Once you hit the dark option, the LED will be on to show you that you have engaged this option, and it's not going to go away even if you turn the machine off. You have to physically go in there and take it off. Normally when it leaves here from Spartanics, it goes out as light. The next sub-menu is channel double, single double, and single. This is how the sensor sees the material. In some cases, the material can work better in a single channel instead of the double channel. But when it leaves here standard off Spartanics, it will be in the double channel. One other thing is there's also a pass double and a pass single. This means that it's only going to count it once and that's it, or it's going to count it twice. And sometimes that could mean a big difference in the material, that it counts it one time incorrectly, then try to count it twice. There's also a divide feature. You can divide by 1 through 5 on this. There's also a minus option. You can also minus 4 or 5 cards off the stack of the basket. And with that, you come back all the way out to special. Other features would be the preset. The preset, you have to push the button, and that means that everything on here will be 500, because if it isn't, then the alarm will actually start beeping at you saying, hey, there's something wrong. That's how that you can set it, the numbers, by hitting the plus or minus on here to see what's in your box of cards. The other thing I want to mention here is the print and accumulator on here. If you have a printer hooked up to the parallel port on the back of the unit, which is labeled, when it leaves here standard, it's set up to count labels on a label printer. If you want it to count report, you will have to change the menu options in there. And for print, you would push print down for about 3 seconds, and both LEDs will light up. If you want this feature to go off, it's just a quick push. On the other hand, if you just want it to accumulate and not print, you would hit the accumulator, and you have to hold that for about 3 seconds. Once the LED is on, you can start counting. And the counter will start accumulating. Now at this point, if you want to let this go, turn it off. It's just a quick tap. You want to be able to clear. The clear, you also have to sustain your finger there for about 3 seconds. And this is what you'll see. And you're ready to go. Going back to the special, when we were there, if you want the LED to be off and go back to standard, you hit the special button and hit the plus, and that will reset everything back to standard the way it leaves from the company. You want the message to go away, just hit clear, and you're ready to, and it'll tell you about your pitch dial for the sensor always, and then you can hit the count button and start counting again. At this point, it's counting double channel, so it's going to count it on the way up and on the way back for verification, and of course that is a total of about 7 seconds. At this point, it's very important for the counter to write smoothly. It's very nice when companies send us material so that we can test our counters with their material and find out what the best counter will be for them. For service and technical advice, you can call Spartanics, and my extension here would be 1504. And once again, I speak Spanish.